What's up, guys? I'm going to try and do a quick video here. Long and short of it, I don't think that these are going to be practical. Even if I get them down, you could see they're literally down, on the floor, and then I'll explain the rest of it. But you can see where the headrest is in comparison to the other one, which is the middle of this one's at the top of that one. The butt is way higher. This is the passenger side, obviously. Even if I got these lined up to fit, that's not so much of a big deal. Actually, the one that goes into the seat belt over here I could use that side, that to mount it to the side instead of mounting it to the floor. So that would work, just to put it in the seat bolt hole. It like lines right up. Then I could bend this one forward, etc. The problem is it's too high. So I figured out a way with these star bolts. They're all, T bolts. I mean, yeah, T fittings, whatever they're called. I think it's like a T20 or something like that. And I figured out a way to pull the seat, actually, off of this frame, and try and show you here. Figured out a way. I got some pictures as well to pull the seat off of this frame. Sorry about the noise, the wind. But this mechanism right here is part of the seat, where you fold the seat forward. So it slides forward with this about 6 inches, and then it slides forward another 6 inches, or whatever. I'm exaggerating maybe, but it slides forward enough to get someone out of the back by pulling this one or this one to where the seat folds forward. This one right here. But it's done so on a dual stage mechanism, where this one pulls this coil in here, and when you pull this up, the coil actually turns this way, and an arm on the end of the coil pushes down in here, actually, to this, and it's part of the frame. And I mean, I think it would be quite the nightmare to try and figure out a way to, and this cable right here, this is the one that actually goes up to here, to that one up there. So it's a dual thing, but they're both connected to this to allow it on 2 separate rails to slide forward further, which is obviously different than our seats. These seats don't slide forward except for when you pull this or push the foot thing in order to allow someone out the back. And they just slide further because they're a longer rail. And yet, this rail is only 12.5 inches from here to here. These are 15.5. Just like my seats, pretty much. If this was angled down in order to fit and shave this off, and a spacer even to make it, mock up to get it to fit, I could possibly make it fit, make a bracket from this one going to over to this hole right here. But again, if I leave it on this frame, it's too high. To change it over to another frame, I have to completely figure out a way to weld this separate mechanism onto my frame and get it to fit just right. And even then, the basket, the way the seat is set up, is completely different, so that it actually, there's a lot more padding and it's firmer and stuff, so it would come like right to the floor. And actually, I use the underneath of the seat, and I plan to put in an amp here eventually. Just a moderate one, nothing crazy. Just like the same system I had in my last Forerunner, so which is another topic altogether. So those are the two things that are kind of really making this impractical. you know, even if I get this seat onto my frame, I think it's still going to be nearly the same height. I mean, it might be, you know, slightly lower, but I mean, how much? Maybe, you know, I don't know. You can look at this, and then look at this. So, I mean, and keep in mind, my seats actually are risen. These rails are risen, so that would just, you know, it would negate the whole purpose of switching them over. Even though I did measure it out, and it seemed like it might work, and this seat might come down like another 1.5 inches, maybe, max. Just the seat itself, you know, without the frame or the brackets. A couple of things within here also that join the two together are welded together, almost impossible to get in there. Not welded, but riveted together with these like gnarly rivets. The rest of those star or, you know, T-bits. And so I don't know, kind of discouraged, but it's not a big deal, you know. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's very very different the way it works. You know, this is just totally primitive, and yet one of the issues is with these, you know, and trying to use this frame, is that this seat does something similar to release the bracket, but it's using these to pull both rails, you know, out at the same time. You know, there's always a way to do something, but again, like I said, it just seems to be just a total pain in the ass. Excuse my French. PITA. Sorry. Still going to look into it, you know, for now. This seat is like perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. It's, you know, flawless. And I've, you know, it's had a cover on it the entire time I've had it for 9 years. So, you know, could always think about switching the seat, you know, switching the passenger seat over like Filbert did. Then I got a crappy passenger seat, you know. I mean, and people can get out the driver's side, but then the brackets don't line up, because on the driver's side brackets are 15-inch apart from here to here, and these are 12.5. So it just seems like a tough thing to do. Like I said, Filbert figured it out. He pulled the seats, I believe, completely off the frame, and then switched everything over and figured out a way to do it, to switch the handle and such. So there's always a way to do it. But, you know, I'd rather just, you know, get another driver's seat. It's just nobody ever sells just the driver's seat. I like the SR5 seats, I really do. I love these. These are super comfortable, but the way they're going to sit, they're just not, you know. So that's basically it for now. Sorry I'm rambling on here. I just, you know, thought I'd fill you in on all the details I figured out so far. I got a bunch of pictures as well, so I'll post those up with info to go with them. And the pictures were really like, I was getting excited figuring out how to separate the two, and then I realized it's not going to work that way. So, all right, thanks.